So obviously, the next logical fight to make in the lightweight division is definitely Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. Obviously, the UFC and Dana White in general are talking about a fourth fight between McGregor and Poirier because of the fact that obviously the fight between McGregor and Poirier didn't end conclusively in the third fight. But I just think I just hope that's all bluster, like they're not going to make a fourth fight, because it just doesn't make sense at this point. I feel like it was clear for anyone that knows MMA that Poirier was going to win that fight, because you could just see it, the way the fight was going, the way Poirier was ground and pounding him. He was definitely going to win that fight. But feasibly, the next fight that should be made is Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. Now, in terms of my opinion, who do I think who right now has the most legit claim to the title? Obviously, we can never know until they actually fight each other who is the rightful lightweight champion. But just comparing both of their resumes, at this moment in time, I might actually say Poirier is the champion. I know it sounds a bit blasphemous because of the fact that obviously Charles Oliveira has the title, but if you look at both of their resume in terms of what they've actually accomplished, Poirier's resume is incredible. I mean, this is a guy that's beaten Max Holloway twice. Max Holloway actually beat Charles Oliveira. Obviously, it was at featherweight, but still, he did beat Charles Oliveira. It's interesting to say that Dustin Poirier beat a guy twice that actually beat who is most likely going to fight next. On top of that, he beat Eddie Alvarez. On top of that, he beat Conor McGregor twice. On top of that, he beat the likes of Justin Gaethje. On top of that, he beat Dan Hooker. I mean, this guy's resume is just absolutely stacked. And he's beaten these fighters quite decisively. And he's beaten the biggest star in the sport now twice. So Charles Oliveira does actually have a very strong claim to the title. If you look at Charles Oliveira, I made a video about him earlier. I said he's a dark horse of the division. If you look at it from the perspective that this guy was just never supposed to be in the position that he's in now. Obviously, for the past decade, he's worked very hard to get to where he's at. But if you look at it, man, a year and a half ago, there's no way anybody would have predicted that this guy would become champion. Like, it would have been seen as a long shot. Like, it would have been seen as something that shouldn't have happened. But so here we are now, and he is the champion. I know he beat Michael Chandler for the title, and Michael Chandler is a decent fight, and he does deserve a lot of credit. But in terms of who I think is the champion right now, in terms of what they've accomplished at lightweight, I have to just give it to Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira is definitely the man right now. Not Charles Oliveira, sorry, Dustin Poirier. I have to give it to Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier is definitely the man right now. If you look at the resume, what he's accomplished, I think he's the man right now. Now, you got to remember, the reason why Charles Oliveira got the shot at the title was because of how great he performed against Tony Ferguson. But Tony Ferguson at that time was way past it. It was just coming off the eve against his loss against Justin Gaethje, who was an absolute animal in that fight. So in my opinion, if you look at their resume, obviously he was coming off a win against Kevin Lee as well, and Kevin Lee is a little bit underrated. He's a very good fighter, and he should get a lot more credit than he gets, truth be told. But you just can't compare his resume to Dustin Poirier's. Dustin Poirier is just beating the who's who of the division, and I think the fight between them, even though I think right now Dustin Poirier has a better resume than Charles Oliveira, a fight between them, in my opinion, is a true 50-50 fight. I just think one aspect of Dustin Poirier's game, which is underrated, is his Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He is a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he has a way better jiu-jitsu game than a Conor McGregor. But his jiu-jitsu is nowhere near as good as Charles Oliveira. So if Charles Oliveira manages to get him in a position, in a chokehold or on the ground, I think there's a very good chance that he actually does beat him. But on top of that, Charles Oliveira's got his stand-up game has become incredible. I'm not saying it's as good as his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he's come a long way in terms of his stand-up game as well. So taking all of that into account, I think it's a true 50-50 fight between who actually wins between them two, because they both are like veterans of the sport at this point. Both of them have been in the UFC for like 10 years, and I think it's a great thing that they're both fighting each other, because both of them deserve to be in such a big stage. Both of them started so young, and they've taken like brutal losses early in their career, but they've managed to blossom into great fighters later on in their career, and now they're going to fight each other in the climax to see who's the best lightweight in the world who's not named Khabib. And it's exciting times. I'm very much looking forward to the Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier fight. But you tell me what you think. Who do you think is the better fight between the two? Who do you think has accomplished more in their career up to now? In my opinion, resume-wise, it's not even close. I think Dustin Poirier does have a better resume than Charles Oliveira. But in my opinion, it has to be said that in terms of who's accomplished, if they were to fight each other, it's a true 50-50 fight. And I think Charles Oliveira definitely has a very strong chance of winning. But so does Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier's got a hell of a way to win if he is going to win. So yeah, that's my opinion. You tell me your opinion. Who do you think will win between the two, and who do you think is the best lightweight in the world right now? You can make a case that it's Charles Oliveira because he has the title, but you could also make a case that it's Dustin Poirier, because just look at the guy's resume, look at everyone he's beaten. So yeah, that's my opinion. Like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.